I can't hear music. Man, again, bad intro. Sorry, guys. Couldn't hear the music at all. But, so, that's back-to-back bad intros. But that doesn't mean the show's going to be bad. Just means, I don't know what it means. I'm Christian Piles. There is no Willie Saylor today. He is literally flying. He's probably at, he just took off, so he's maybe at 22,000 feet right now, making his way to 30. So he should get that Delta Wi-Fi access very soon. Okay, so then he'll probably be tweeting inappropriate things. Actually, no. That'll be in like 12 hours.
I was going to say, it's early.
Yeah, it's early. So he'll be fine. He'll be good. He'll be tweeting nice stuff. And then around 6 p.m.-ish, we know what's going to happen. To my left is Daniel Roy Lobdell Jr. If you had a child, would you make it a third?
Nope.
Trip? Call him Trip?
Nope.
Send him to, okay, fine. He'd crush it at frats probably, named Trip Lobdell.
Yeah.
And across from me, he's back. He called Baton Rouge this weekend. His name's Stephen Kyle Brackey.
I did. Willie once tried to call Baton Rouge, and it was closed.
The entire city?
Yes. It was open for me.
Wow.
Remember at NCAA we tried to call Baton Rouge?
Oh, yeah. What happened that we were like, all right, that's it. We're calling Baton Rouge.
I don't know. It was the night before.
We literally called the city of Baton Rouge, and the town was shut down.
Yeah. It was the night before NCAA. I think we were just all jacked up.
We were definitely jacked up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I looked apparently you can't watch Euros. That is extremely unfortunate.
I don't know how many. Okay. First of all, let's just think about what you guys know about me, right? If there was a way to watch the European games, I or someone like me would have told you guys about it a long time ago. And I keep getting asked about it, and UWW keeps getting asked about it. It's not a UW event. It's not an event that's on Flow. You probably have to have like Minsk closed caption television because it's in Belarus. So
why is it? Can you explain to me why it's not? Why it doesn't fall under UW? I know it's not the Euro whatever normal thing, but why doesn't all things just fall under them? I mean, certainly it's their officials, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. So I don't know. It's just one of those. It's one of those things. So whenever you see the word games after something, it's important, right? So like Olympic Games, but obviously there's no like Olympic Championships. There's just Olympic Games. But Pan Am Games, Euro Games, Asian Games, these are competitions that are once every 4 years that are run by, those specific, like Euro Games is run by some European conglomerate. And so all of these different sports have competitions at the European Games. So it's not a wrestling specific event. And so when it's not a wrestling specific event, it is not run by United World Wrestling. Okay. Well, kind of wish they just did, and then at least we'd be able to watch it somehow. Now I want to see who actually does.
Who has it? Who owns it? Okay, so Sports Solutions. Don't know what that is.
There you go. That's why.
Oh, wait. Is it Sporty Solutions?
I don't know. I was just being sarcastic.
I forgot about that. I forgot about Sporty Solutions. Okay, so we don't know. But we do know that Stefan Micic beat Atlee. He was down 4 and came back, so that's kind of awesome. Except terrible. It's like I like Stefan, but I don't like Serbian glory. Sorry. Anything else?
Well, I just was going to say it's impressive that a guy who is probably cutting so much is able to come back. You'd think that fading would be the issue when, like, he would have been perfect day before 57. Now day of, a little harder.
Well, he is kind of tall, but he was 25 for his redshirt year and for a little bit there. Mm-hmm. So, there's a little bit of, I guess you can get it down. If you don't have to do it like twice a week for 4 months, it's a big difference. But yeah, have we heard any more of? Is Stefan going to take a red shirt?
Everybody keeps asking me that.
Olympic red shirt?
Yeah.
This will be his second Olympic red shirt.
He is the first person I'm aware of that would be taking a second Olympic red shirt.
Tanner Hall should just go for it and just like be all in. I am Van Wilder. I do not leave college. I am college.
I'm just here now.
Yes.
This is where I live.
At some point, the buildings are just named after Tanner Hall, and there's nothing you can do about it.
The Tanner Hall Institute.
Because he could Tanner Hall. I'm pretty sure he took something back in 16, right? Or maybe he was just on his mission then.
I'll look
He
it up.
graduated high school in 2011.
Oh my gosh. It's actually amazing. So he redshirted last year. So he's back this year. But he could take an Olympic.
I think he went Mormon Mission, Olympic Training Center, Olympic red shirt. Yeah.
I think he
That's a lot
went
of stuff
Olympic
happening.
Training Center first.
Why would he go? No, usually he'd take the Mormon Mission. Anyway, he has been long out of high
15,
school.
16 was his freshman year.
2016
Yes,
Was his
2016
first year?
NCAA's was his first year.
competition at the collegiate level
Yes.
for 2011.
Yes.
So theoretically, like most of the rest of his high school graduating class was wrapping up their careers,
Correct.
and he's like, "All right, time to get started."
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so that's our daily Tanner Hall check-in. Any other Euro takeaways? No Chamizo. Chamizo had a muscle strain according to his Instagram.
Yeah, he scratched, which was weird. It was also confusing because he was at the top of the draw list, so it looked like the top was him, Kinchadze, Sidakov, Gadzhiev, Kirov, which is like an absurd top side.
Oh
And it
my
still was.
gosh.
It still was those guys. I mean, there was a first round match that was a rematch of last year's World Finals. So there was that. 86 kind of went as planned. No Petriashvili or Akul at heavyweight, which was.
Why do you think that be?
I don't know.
Do they not care about European glory?
They care about the regular European glory, European championships, because they always seem to wrestle each other there.
They care nothing for game glory, just
Correct.
championship glory. That's fair.
Correct. But like the rest of Turkey starters are there. Demirtas, Erdin, Atlee. So like the guys that I would expect our guys to see at Dogu. Yashardo is the actual way to pronounce it, but we're gonna keep calling it Dogu because
we're gonna call it Dogu.
Yeah.
Spey is. I'm gonna get annoyed if that kind of the correct pronunciation starts to permeate here in the Flow HQ. Him and Bader. Bader's he thinks he's really smart because he says Budapest instead of Budapest. It's Budapest and Yasser Dogu in the United States. Kyle, I need your support here.
Oh, you have it. Spey has weird pronunciations of everything.
Yeah, sometimes he's just straight wrong.
Yes.
He just pronounces things wrong.
He's like, well, this is how it should be. It's
He
like,
had
okay, well, it's not.
He had a rough Rutgers, Final X Rutgers.
Yeah.
He was
really-
getting proved wrong left and right.
It started with the diplomatic immunity take on license plates.
Yeah.
And it went down from there.
He was wrong about something with the Godfather movies. Remember at dinner?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, he thought Marlon Brando died in the second one. Definitely died in the first
He was
one.
wrong about some fraternity Nomad was familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough scene for Andrew Spey, but he recovered. He's on fire now, so that's good. Okay, I want to get into a little Division I NCAA wrestling discussion.
Nah.
No one likes that, right? So it was recently released, our 125 title contenders. I found this to be an interesting article full of it's a really deep weight. I feel like 25 and 33 are some of the deeper weights in terms of like legit title contenders. Then again, maybe there's only one at 125 because it's just Spencer's just going to win it every year. But at least he loses to these people.
That may end up happening.
What?
Spencer goes Caldig 444.
He's just going to win 4, and maybe he doesn't always look the best, but at NCAAs, it's like, oh, yeah, it's Spencer Lee. Oh, yeah, it's Kyle Dake. So 125 title contenders as listed by Andrew, I believe. Spencer Lee, Jack Mueller, Sebastian Rivera, Nick Piccinini, Vito Araujo, and Pat Glory coming in the last one. Now, a couple things with Pat Glory. One, I am seriously woke on his days at 125 being no more.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, I think he's going to redshirt this year. Or he might redshirt this year.
I guess gray shirt.
Yeah, not go to school shirt. We'll just start calling it that. Not go to school shirt. Gap year. Maybe it's a gap year.
I think gap year is pre-college.
I know, but for them it's mid. All right, so we'll just call it a not going to school year.
Okay, there we go.
He's just out on education for that year. Man, I tell you what, I hate school so much. I'm getting that crap done. But these smart kids, they can, who knows what they do. So that changes things for the 25 landscape somewhat, but does it really? How are you seeing this weight, Nomad? And do you see anyone else that's not listed here? Who coming off red shirt? impact freshmen could make this an interesting weight. Interesting weight.
That's the thing. There's not much in the way of impact freshmen or guys coming off redshirt, right? You have, Camacho, Teskey, right? They wrestled at in Vegas at the Open. Corbin Myers dropping down, Pat McKee coming off redshirt. Like, there's not a whole lot in the way of, where we saw, like, okay, Spencer's coming in. We know he's going to immediately have a big impact. We assumed he could win NCAAs and felt very confident he was definitely going to be like a top 3 level guy, but there's no one of that caliber coming in. And then Glory coming in last year, we're like, okay, definitely can be in that round of 12, maybe even could be an All-American, and then quickly it was like, all right, this guy's legit. He is clearly a top 10 guy, and if things go his way.
Same with Vito.
If he follows what he's been doing during the year, he'll definitely be an All-American. But I don't see any young guys coming in at 125 and making an impact right away. I think it's going to be a lot of the same of what we saw last year. If again, depending upon like if Glory goes up or gray shirts, but otherwise, I think it's going to be a lot of the same.
Yeah, I'm looking, here at the big boards, and I just, Decatur was like a true freshman. Gavin would be a really interesting guy if I don't think he's ever going to go 25, certainly not with Spencer there, but I think he's maybe someone interesting if we get to 33 today. That's someone that could make an impact. But, in some of these weights, like there's someone like David Carr, Sammy Sasso, or even Ja'Cory Teamer / Aaron Brooks, like those guys will come in and I think have major impact, whereas I think at the lighter weights there's not that glut of talent but we're on such a run there with Dayton and Soriano and Spencer and
it was eventually going to
Glory Vito. I mean, it's a crazy run of elite lightweights, so
right.
It's not always going to be like that, and it'll kick back up. And I actually really like Camacho as a prospect. I think he's going to be super good. Like him a lot. Teskey, who knows what's going on there? Nothing but rumors flying around, which is never really a good thing.
Looking at 125s on the 2019 big board, so you got Lucas Berg going to Illinois, but I imagine he's going to redshirt because they've got
Piotrowski.
Yeah, they've got Piotrowski there. Aiden Reeves coming into Iowa State, but he's coming off injury, and then
he's not healthy.
Yeah, he wasn't even practicing. Iowa State's got options too. I see no reason for them to wrestle him.
Right.
Especially if that one, Todd Small comes down. We should call him Todd Not Small.
Todd Not Small.
Todd Not Small.
Never
at
making
125.
125 small.
I'm kind of in. Todd Not Small. Get yourself down to 25. I think you're a nice little sprinkle.
You're trying to kill him.
No.
Yes, you
They'll
are.
do it right. He'll be fine. Listen, just
Food
diet
foods.
and exercise.
1
Doesn't
pound a
Alex
week.
Mackel have more years? He's good.
Yeah, Mackel's good. but Todd Not Small. I just think the competition breeds,
Looking at, again, continuing with 2019 big board, Sammy Alvarez going to NC State. Super talented. I would imagine they're going to redshirt him. Eric Barnett, could he go right away for Wisconsin with Connor Brown?
Yeah,
I bet they
goes.
I bet they go with him just because you got 1 year Seth Gross. Put your best team out there, and also I think with Barnett, I think the year of just being in the lineup and traveling, I think he's going to learn a lot about his weaknesses, where he needs to get better, and I don't know, that can be really formative. And then who knows how he'll be. I think if he gets a little more offense, he's going to be a pretty dangerous guy. He already can really scramble at an elite level.
Plus Bono's a guy who, I mean, I've had this conversation with him. I imagine we all have, where he's like, Bono's the type of coach where unless you can really make a big run, you generally should just be putting out the best team that you can on a year-by-year basis. And again, there's development, there's what your guys want, and there's being smart about things. But in general, the best guy should go when you're at the level where Wisconsin is, where they're trying to push into that top 10, trying to push into that top 5.
Right. And I was talking at, I think it was Virginia Tech about this, like, wrestling your best team versus, if you got guys like they're going to be in this situation with Connor Brady and BC LaPred. It's like, is Connor maybe by March going to be better than BC? Potentially, sure. But you got BC, He's a tough guy. He's going to qualify the way. He can win matches nationally. He's pretty talented. So you have that flexibility there. So, yeah, you redshirt a guy. But in the case of, like, Eric Barnett or many other, like, true freshmen where you're the best guy at the weight, it really behooves many of these guys just to go right away. And you see their arc is just accelerated, whereas if they're just redshirting and they're kind of on their own a little bit and they're not with the team, you just don't quite get that experience.
I also just think I just personally think, I mean, again, every guy's different, but I just personally think anymore it is wise to save that red shirt for a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road when they're a little more beat up, or they have a little tougher, where they have a little tougher course load, or they're coming off an injury, or they need to do an internship, or they make a world team and their summer's kind of gone, right? Like there's all these things that go into life after wrestling, and part of that's like saving your body and saving your mind. And so I just think it's smart to anymore with the caliber of guys that are coming in to maybe save that red shirt.
So we're not seeing many super impact freshmen right now, are we?
Yeah, I wanted the last two that the last two from the 2019 big board. I don't see McHenry going right away for Michigan, especially because I
would make him room with Mason Paris. It's like, listen, Kurt, you live with him now. You have to eat.
You gotta get big.
You don't just have to eat what he eats. You have to eat how much Mason eats. Yes, you heard me right, Kurt. That's what you eat. Coach Bormet, that's insane. He ate like a steer last night. He's like, you heard me. Eat the steer, Kurt. That needs to be the conversation in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah, I agree. No,
he needs to hang out with Jim Harbaugh. Just drink whole milk all the time.
Whole milk in everything.
Yes.
Kurt. Big Kurt McHenry fans here. I want to see that guy get a little bigger because I think he is just like so filthy. If he can get a little bigger, he's going to be major, major problems.
Yeah, it's really just size and getting out on bottom. Like, if he can do those two things, sky's the limit. He can, especially the way the 125 is looking where, guys are frequently leaving, he could win a national title. And then last one, that was a top 50 guy, a guy we just saw, Virginia Tech, who we talked about on the road trip, Sam Altona. Probably I would imagine, going to redshirt with Myers coming down. And then he'll go as a redshirt freshman next year. So, 125, not much in the way of impact freshmen. I want to continue this 125 conversation, but I just kind of want to put it on the table. Michigan just got a big commitment yesterday from a kid named Gage Garcia, who's from Pennsylvania. And no, definitely cannot go 25. But I don't know, maybe if we have time today, I wanted to talk about just like the interesting point that he's going to try to play football and wrestle in college. So just want to table that for down the road.
How's that scholarship get split?
Apparently it's all football.
All football?
So it's great for wrestling.
Except Michigan's good and they like play bowl games like in January and stuff.
Sure.
That's suboptimal.
Yeah, I don't know
how that works. Like, listen, they start practicing in like September.
I mean, it's kind of like the what's his name, Hokett situation.
Yeah, I guess he's like a 97 too, because like Gage Garcia is not that big, right? Or you think he'll be a college heavyweight?
I kind of view him as a 97.
Yeah, so maybe
when he gets up there to Michigan and they get him on that football weightlifting program, he's a heavyweight. But
well, the thing is, like, okay, so Mason Paris will be a sophomore this year. If he doesn't redshirt, Mason Paris will be a sophomore this year. Gage Garcia will be a senior. Then Garcia can redshirt when Paris is a junior. So he could only have to hold 197 for a year as a redshirt freshman when Mason Paris is a true senior, and then they could get him up to heavy.
Okay.
So there's only really a year of competitive overlap, of varsity starting overlap.
What position does he play?
Running back.
He's a running back, but I would be very surprised if he plays that at the next level.
Yeah. Well, give us Bracky's already broken down the film, so you may as well just give us a scouting report.
Michigan's one of the few schools that still uses like a true fullback, so I could see him there.
Fullbacks are like huge though; they're like 240, 250 pounds.
He could be like a H-back hybrid type thing, and then I would see him more on the defensive side of the ball, honestly.
Okay.
But it's interesting that they offered him for football. I'm looking at his rivals profile, and most of the schools that had offered him. He had a D1 offer from Army, but then a bunch of Ivy League schools.
Okay.
So it's interesting that Michigan kind of came in there, and they're the one Power 5 offer.
Interesting. All right.
And that so he goes to Southern Columbia, which has a very good wrestling program, right? The Lanes and a bunch of guys. They sent a number of guys D1 from Pennsylvania AA, which is Pennsylvania has AA and AAA, and AA is a smaller one. But their football program, they went 16-0. They're nationally ranked. I think they had the number 1 wide receiver in the country.
They did. Julian Fleming. He just committed to Ohio State over Alabama and Clemson and everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what got Willie mad? That someone
this is
from
what
Pennsylvania...
Willie didn't understand recruiting.
Yeah. Does he know where Terrell Pryor went to college and where he's from?
Yeah.
I think it happens.
It happens all the time in football.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Bracky sent me this article about Miami and how the coach is trying to bring it back, and all the guys they missed on from skill position guys from that, from South Florida is stupidly rich with football talent, right? And even if Miami got 10% of those guys, but they did.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good program, and I just thought it was interesting that he's going to try to do both in college because it's very hard. But Josh Okid just did it, so I don't know.
All right. There, you can just clip this part out and put it on your football podcast.
We're bringing it back Thursday, by the way.
Nice.
Bootleg. Back.
Bootleg is back, baby. Okay.
All right, so we're going to the actual contenders, All-Americans types at 25, or we want to go up to 33?
No, let's do 25. What else we got? Who else should we throw in there? I mean, I think Corbin Myers is at least interesting at 25 if he can hold it well. Let me think. Who else is in there that I like? I mean, I like Pat McKee. I mean, Rayvon Foley to me is really interesting. I mean, he was right there this year. Not sure how healthy he was at the end of the year. I remember at Big Tens, he was on crutches, straight leg. I was he's gonna go 0-2 at NCAAs because he's that hurt, and I think he still made the round of 12.
He placed.
What? He was 8th?
Yeah, he placed.
Dang it!
Rayvon Foley placed.
I really thought he didn't place.
Bet.
I know. I believe you. Was it him and Bresser in the 7-8 match?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, no, Rayvon placed.
Oh, maybe it was Russell that didn't place.
He beat Russell in the blood round.
Wow, I had that result backwards. Man, what an animal. Rayvon
Beat
Foley.
Drew Madden, Sean Russell, lost to Glory.
It's insane. And I was talking with the Michigan State staff at Big Tens. They're he's so it was before he got hurt. I don't even know how hurt he was, but he was on crutches and his leg was straight. And after Big Tens, I was he's somewhat hurt. And they're yeah, he's so tough. He works so hard. Blah blah blah. He's just a total animal. So
the other thing with 25, you look at guys who were knocking on the door, right? Made the corners, made the round 12. A lot of those guys are gone, right? So Bresser beat Fleetwood in the blood round. Both those guys are gone, right? Bresser plays, Fleetwood's gone. Sean Fowles lost to Vito in the blood round. Fowles is gone, probably 245 pounds right now.
We never took him to Golden Corral. Man.
I'm sorry, Sean.
You just mentioned Sean Russell. He's gone. And then Glory beat McGee of Old Dominion. So, again, if Glory goes up, so McGee could be one of those guys that slides in.
Foley beat Bresser for 7th, by the way.
Yeah.
Dang. Good for him. Wow. My memory is getting so bad.
A couple people keep asking about Taylor Lamont. Are we going to see him at 25, or will he go up?
I always thought he was so big, but
yeah,
he's one that I could see. I don't know if I'd say title contender because Spencer, but I can see him beating one of those guys in there. If he beat a Vito one time or something like that, that wouldn't stun me.
So he was at 60 kilos he's Greco guy, right? So he was at 60 kilos for Greco, but he also did that before and then wrestled 125.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Because he's that.
He was blood round 2 years ago as a true freshman.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
So I think, I agree. He factors in as an All-American type at either 25 or 33, depending on where he goes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. None of those. I mean, he could go 25 or 33. I mean, pick your poison. I'd probably just eat and go 33 because they're both horrible, just so hard. But if he thinks he can do 25 another year,
25 is maybe 25's top heavy, right? So your top.
I agree.
5, 6. So it's easier on paper. It's easier to place, right? When you look at the composition of the weight, but food.
But food. Yeah, because, I mean, 33, I'm just looking at last year's rankings. In the year, Gomez was 11th last year. That guy's really good. RBY 8th. Mickey Philippi was like the 4 seed.
That's a guy you have to beat in like the second round.
Yeah,
Austin
second or
Gomez
third
to
round.
place.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fun.
Montori Bridges is back. I think a lot of him. Tariq Wilson, I'm not going to say he's going up because Sean Foz exists. And
Sure.
They make him come down. Maybe they will. But, man, that guy was so
big
at World Team Trials. I was like, he was like warming up Kyvan pretty much. He was big. So I don't know what's going to happen with him, but he's a definite guy that's like super, super interesting.
So with 25, is it maybe a rock, paper, scissors thing? I mean, Seabass beat Spencer twice. Mueller beat up Seabass in the semis, and Spencer is like 12-0 against Mueller.
All bets are off pre-NCAAs.
Sure.
And then NCAAs, Spencer's going to beat them all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rivera, I mean, clearly he can beat Spencer, but there's other guys that present matchup problems. And, it's so clear that Spencer can I know he didn't hit Rivera at NCAAs, but I feel, after watching that tournament, I feel so confident he would have beaten him at NCAAs.
Right.
Right? Like, it's just, the dude just raises his level. There wasn't some miraculous recovery from Big Ten's NCAAs. It's just like a mind, Kevin LaValle beat Kyle Dake, and then Kyle Dake, was basically unscored upon at NCAAs, completely dominant.
And then Vito, we only got to see him against Rivera last year, right? So we didn't get to see him against Spencer or I know, but I'm talking about the top three that I'm talking about. So we didn't get to see him against Spencer. We didn't get to see him against Mueller. I don't see how he beats Spencer. I would love to see a Vito Mueller match.
I think with Spencer, I could see Vito getting an early double leg, just running him over. Maybe even I could even see that match starting really bad for Spencer. But I just think overtime. And plus with Vito, it's just hard for him to go really hard for 7 minutes. Because I think he still kind of zaps himself early in matches, just how hard he wrestles.
Well, that was literally our critique of Spencer for all of last year, though.
Yeah, I know. It's a fair point. But
so fireworks first period, and then
yeah, I think it'd be a wild first period.
see who goes from there. But yeah, so and then pitch probably that number. Vito and pitch that 4-5 right now.
Yeah.
So 125 is gonna look a lot of the same.
It's gonna be very fun. Okay, good stuff. I have a quick question. So we only have the one. We get a lot of Olympic questions, so I just want to have that.
Mm-hmm.
No, how many are there? Fewer Olympic qualifiers?
Yes.
Okay, because there were 20, 21 in some of the brackets last year. By last year, I mean 2016. Are we gonna be looking at 16 or 19 or what?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, frog in my throat. Yeah. So the I don't know what exactly happened, but the number of qualifiers in several sports was reduced, wrestling being one of them.
Nice.
And so
love the Olympics.
Yeah.
They're so awesome to us.
The number of weights stayed the same, all that, right? So we still have 6 in each style. It's just everything will now be perfect 16 wrestler brackets. So there'll be no pigtails.
Man. That's so I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. Did it used to be making the finals of the last chance would get you in?
That is still the case. There's just one fewer last chance.
Okay. Well, I don't understand. If there were 21 people in a bracket, so that takes 2 people out of a bracket. So that gets us down to 19. I'm trying to figure out where they got rid of the others.
So there were goodwill allocations. Ashnash Castelli. Okay, remember him?
No.
Okay, there was a guy at 74 kilos who literally Spay grew up wrestling with.
Oh yeah, he just got an Oceania qualification.
Basically started. No, he basically started the Haitian Wrestling Federation. He literally They have a certain
like a number of allotted spots that they can give to like cases, like just like let's see this guy.
Goodwill cases, yes, exactly. Yeah. And so they did away with that. They did away with the one last. So in 2016 there were 2 last chance qualifiers, getting top 3 at one and then making the finals of the other is kind of how it ended up working out.
Top 3.
Yeah, because that's how Frank got in.
Got it.
So they cut approximately 3 spots per
okay.
win.
I can see how we're getting there. Well, I'm glad they're getting rid of that charity case one. It makes no sense that the Olympics would allow that. Okay.
So it's just harder now because you just have 3 chances to qualify instead of 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be darn tough. Okay, let's get to some questions from friends. First, is there any chatter there from our friends there, Kyle?
Someone mentioned that Spencer Lee also gets tired in the third period of matches.
They're right about
when
that.
You were talking about Vito getting a little tired.
He doesn't really. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I know, but shut up. Okay. All right, first question. It's from Olivia Bratke.
Uh-oh.
We aren't naming our baby Al or Paul Simon. Can you please let your viewers know? Now, I'm not going to let them know. I want Bratke to say definitively, I'm not naming my child Al. Are you ready to say that?
Yeah, I think we're ready. It sucks.
Al Bratke, attorney at law. That just has a ring.
As she told Willie last night on Twitter, you can call it Al if you want.
Okay.
Or Paul Simon, whatever you want. It's just not going to be the name on the birth certificate.
That's fine. I mean, your name's not Kyle on your birth certificate, your first name.
Okay, yeah, my first name isn't.
So, literally, you are basically Al Bratke. So, I mean, think about it. Al Bratke, private eye.
Right.
I don't know, man. I think it's a golden opportunity you're missing. I'm really disappointed. But, okay, we've let them know, Olivia. But that doesn't mean they're going to stop making Al Bratke Twitter accounts on Twitter. We are powerless there. We cannot stop the people from making Twitter's accounts on your children's fake names. Tony Rotundo, photographer extraordinaire, asks, is the current repechage system at Worlds the best way to choose qualifying countries for the Olympics? Would a collegiate-style consolation wrestleback be a more true indicator of top 6 were it feasible to fit into the daily schedule? So the answer to this is a resounding, of course not. Of course the repechage system is not the best way to choose the top 5. It's not the best way to choose your medalist. The best way is the way we do it here in the United States of America with a true wrestleback. Repechage is silly, especially topside repechage, where there's like literally can be like 6 to 8 guys on one side and 16 on the other, right? And then so you have to beat like one guy and you're wrestling for a bronze medal.
Yeah, I mean, like true indication of talent is more data points. Right, so like double elimination will always result in a better indication of talent, and just like even going beyond that, that's why they used to do pool system, because then you had even more matches, right? I mean, you had to like everyone wrestled at least 6 matches, 5 matches, so it was like very obvious. Okay, these are the best guys. These are the guys that move on.
The problem is it's just not an important thing to the IOC or United World Wrestling that we get the best 5. They want that. As we said, it's the same thing with the medals. Why we have double bronze. They want more random countries medaling so they can say we have this diverse sport where we get all these medalists from all these different countries. And in the same way, we can say we had all these qualifiers from these far-flung places because one guy was on the top side. We drew Guinea-Bissau into the top, and he beat one guy, and he wrestled for a medal, and then Guinea-Bissau's in the Olympics, and we can say that. So
it's a matter of what do you want? What is good for the sport, what is not good for the sport.
Yeah.
There are people who feel that what is best for the sport is just the most accurate representation of talent in terms of, who are the true top, pick a number. And then, there is being able to follow the bracket in terms of line bracketing as opposed to pool play. It's just much easier to follow a line bracket. And then the ability to increase the number of medals. And then also as far as seeding, right? They have done the only thing they can do, which is put it in a purely objective measure, because you cannot do subjective seeding at Worlds,
Right.
as is currently constructed. It just not gonna happen. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So they have to. There's a lot of stakeholders they have to make happy.
Yes. This question is from Daniel Lobdell Jr. at Coach P91640293. Rolls right off the tongue. Are there certain wrestlers that should move to an Olympic weight for 2020 because they are not at the ideal weight class and stuck between Olympic weights? Green, Graf, Cologne. I actually kind of think it'd be cool if James Green was just like, you know what? I'm 70. I'm 70 forever. And I'm going to make the team in 2020 at 70 kilograms. And I'm going to win that. And then I'm going to go out the greatest 70 in United States history for the time being.
What we don't have is a time of when the 2020 non-Olympic weight World Championships will be, which in turn means we don't have a time of when the 2020 non-Olympic weight World Team Trials will be.
Yeah.
Last time around, in 2016, when 2016 was the first time ever in the history of wrestling that there were Olympic weights and non-Olympic weights, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just all used to be Olympic weights. So, and at first they're like, UWW's like, no, we're not going to do a non-Olympic weight World Championships. It'll just be Olympics. And then at the 11th hour, they said, oh, yeah, we're actually going to do
Let's do it, boys.
non-Olympic weight World Championships. It just cannot include any Olympians. So it has to be people who are wholly separate from.
No double dips.
I'm sorry. Let me correct myself before people get mad at me. On the men's side, men's freestyle and Greco, there's never been Olympic weights and non-Olympic weights. That was always a women's freestyle thing. That happened for
You
for
almost
a while.
got so burned by the entire wrestling community. I'm glad you got out in front
enough
of that.
Enough of them would have been angry. Anyway, so the non-Olympic weight World Team Trials were done in conjunction with Bill Farrell, which was in November. So it was a month before. So I don't know if they're going to do like stack it on top of another event like that, or if they're going to have a wholly separate thing.
Got it. All right. So Nomad was gone. He once a year he goes to an undisclosed location. He doesn't tell us where. We're worried sick till we see him come back. We don't know where he goes. Okay, so someone asked, where was Nomad anyway? We still don't know, but I have an idea, and we'll see if Nomad will play ball. I'm gonna need Kyle Bracky's help. But we're going to do not 20 questions because who has time for that? But we got 10 questions, Bracky and I, to figure out where he was. We're just going to try to get the city, okay? If we can get the city, we'll feel pretty good. So I'm going to start. And then Bracky will go. We'll alternate.
Okay.
Was the city in the mountain time zone?
Was the city in the mountain time zone? No.
Okay. Mountain's out. No Denver.
So we got 9 more questions.
9.
I really think we should figure out the time zone.
Yep, I
Was
did
it
too.
Central Time Zone?
It was not Central Time Zone.
Oh, shoot.
Eastern time zone.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, what do we got? 7 left?
Well, he's from Baltimore. It feels like,
Yeah.
should we just ask if he was in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Were you in Baltimore?
No.
Dang it. Okay, were you,
Were you?
okay. North of the Mason-Dixon line?
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
North of the Mason-Dixon. And he's thinking about it, which could be a smoke signal, but it also could be like, where's the Mason-Dixon line? Is it West Virginia?
No, I
Is
know
it
where
Maryland?
the Mason-Dixon line is, but I was trying to think geographically. I
Were-
lived in the old line state.
Were you in the Garden State?
Was I in the Garden State? No.
Okay.
Were you in New Jersey? Just kidding. All right, were you in New York?
No.
What are we at? 6?
Were you at Penn
Time zone.
State?
Wait, hold on.
I'm trying to think how many questions you have. No, I was not at Penn State.
Dang it! Why'd you go so,
I don't know.
so
I was
granular?
trying to be
Jeez.
funny.
Were you rushing the quad at Kent State? That's not my question. Were you in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay. I had a feeling because the way he was. Okay. He's in Ohio. We've got a couple questions.
How the heck
to
did you
figure
go in Ohio? How many questions do we have left?
out. Let's say
We have
we have 2 questions
We have
left.
2.
All right. He was at Ohio State with us, right? How can we narrow this down in one question? Because there's Ohio State, there's Cleveland, and It has to make sense.
It has to make sense.
No, it shouldn't make sense, actually. That's how we'll know we're getting closer. So it would make sense if he went to Ohio State. He is... I need help, Bracky. I asked the Ohio question.
Yeah. Zeb was out of town. He wasn't with Zeb.
You weren't at the defense soap duels or anything.
The slumlord of
Kent, Ohio. Were you in Columbus?
It was not in Columbus.
Dang it.
Were you... I have a couple cities in my head I want to ask about.
So there's Cleveland?
There's Cleveland, there's Cincinnati, there's a beautiful Athens, Ohio,
I feel like he would go to Cincinnati. Maybe it's a city we don't even know.
There's Dayton, there's Toledo.
You just got to throw one out there, buddy. We just got to...
Were you in Cincinnati?
No, I was not purchasing a steak in Skyline Chili.
Dang it. We don't know. All right, we got pretty close, boys.
Okay, he was in Ohio, though.
He was in Ohio.
Which I would not have guessed.
Which is... That's why it's a perfect choice for him.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Do you want to tell us?
No. It's more fun this way.
Were you with a friend?
It's always more fun this way.
Were you with a friend or friends?
No.
You were just going...
You took a solo trip to Ohio.
It's a solo trip.
Really?
To Ohio.
Yeah.
The mystery grows.
Did
Oh,
you go to
man.
freaking like Cedar Point?
Oh, what if he did? Just rode roller coasters by himself.
Cedar
Woo!
Point,
Just buys the pictures.
Kings Island.
Okay, well, close enough. Latest on the Yanni versus Zane situation. I have no idea. You heard anything?
No.
What was the scuttlebutt in Ohio for the Yanni?
Well, it's Ohio is the Buckeye state, so
They wish
obviously
Stieber would come back.
Yeah.
And the same person also asked, can we talk about Kirk Fleet just straight up not having an ACL and being like, F it, I'm going to dominate some dudes anyway.
0 ACLs.
0. Well, he's got 1, right?
I'm sorry, he does have 0 in one leg.
0 in 1 leg. Okay. Yeah, Alex Marinelli has been doing that for like 2 straight years or something collegiately.
Yeah, what was the initial injury? When did he hurt it? And will
Greg?
he ever get rid of the break?
Greg?
No, the Marinelli.
I don't know when the initial injury was. I guess before his, what was it, freshman season? He had it both years.
Yeah.
All year. I mean, it happened before then. Knees hurt, just tough guy. Wrestles awesome with it. I don't know.
Also a style seemingly conducive to not having to worry about it much.
I guess. I don't know how.
Wrestling's hard, yeah.
I don't know how he's so fast to the leg with just the 1 ACL, but he is. Greg is. I don't know.
Do we even need ACLs?
Yeah, is it?
Are they overrated?
All these athletes, Yanni wins NCAAs. He beats Dean Heil, Bryce Meredith, and whoever he beat. Ironman, back to back, no ACL, or with just the 1. Marinelli has more All-American finishes than he has ACLs. And he just keeps wrestling. Greg dominating 1 ACL. Maybe we don't need ACLs. Nah. Would you give your ACLs up for science just to see?
No, I want mine.
You want yours?
Yeah.
Just in case 2020.
We posted because Klay Thompson tore his ACL in the NBA Finals.
Oh, and he made 2 free throws.
Everyone was making a big deal about his 2 free
gosh.
throws, and we quote tweeted just a picture of Yanni smiling.
Oh, really?
And quote tweet to it, and it started this whole stupid argument where someone was like, "Don't even try to compare this. Playing basketball without an ACL is impossible. Wrestling, you can do it." And it's like, yeah, because wrestling.
He didn't play basketball.
Yeah,
he didn't run up and down the court.
No.
Yeah, he didn't play.
I know, but it was just this ridiculous argument that somehow wrestling with no ACL is easy.
Yeah, it's probably hard.
He didn't play though.
He didn't play. He shot free throws.
Yeah, I know.
Did at any point with no ACLs?
This is not Willis Reed, right? This is a dude. I mean, Kobe Bryant knocked 2 down with like the Achilles tear. I'm sure that's way more painful than the. Who cares? Stupid basketball.
I'm pretty sure.
I hope the Warriors are done forever.
Yeah.
Fake team.
It's not like the Paul Pierce injury.
Oh my God.
He was brutalized.
The wheelchair.
And he went out in the wheelchair, and that was so bad.
That was bad.
What a faker.
What a fake guy. Wheelchair. You better reserve that for something real serious. All right, Tim Amos. FRL at the OTC. Who finishes first up the incline?
I would assume Bader. Bader runs the most.
It's FRL.
Oh, FRL.
I would assume CP. He's definitely in like the best running shape.
Yeah.
I'm not in running shape whatsoever.
All I know is I'm sure as hell not finishing in last.
Will it?
Well, yeah, me and you are safe. We'll just
Only
walk.
3 of us are getting off the mountain alive. Yeah. Willie will die on the incline. Now, he claims he's just got this great endurance and he can just go and go and go. But can you imagine how does elevation impact gout? It can't help.
Oh, probably terrible.
Be real bad. We would lose him on the incline.
We were having this conversation though at some point on the Final X road trip. Like, you can't. I don't understand how. Oh, I guess you could apply this to me for ping pong because I truly hate ping pong, and like I really don't care if I'm good or bad at it. But like in general, how do you just not care about like just completely sucking at something, like not being like even just like a baseline level of competency at like an athletic activity?
I'm not sure what you're talking about though.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll table it for after. It just made me think about like Willie just dying on the incline.
Yeah.
And like,
well, that's not like
no pride.
apathy. He actually likes he liked endurance activities for a while there, and then his lifestyle problems. Which American wrestler has the highest KBDR? Asked Jake 33822. Kyle.
No, I was thinking.
KBDR is a Kyle Brackey danger rating. It's normally assigned to aliens or cryptids on Kyle Brackey's Alien Hour, but today we will assign it to an American wrestler.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it needs to be someone that doesn't, like Jordan Burroughs is a very obvious answer.
Yeah.
But it needs to be somebody that can just like strike at any time when like you're least expecting it.
I kind of feel.
Dake?
Well, I was going in another direction, almost like our anti-clown task force.
Oh, Gilman?
Downey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Downey.
yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that's
You see that? First of all, he always acts like he's small. He's enormous. With the cornrows, I could see you see him run across through a field, be like, "What the heck was that?"
Yeah.
Like, wait, did you see that? I think it's probably Downey. I think it's pretty high.
Somebody also brought up.
I agree with you.
Also, he's literally got some KOs, even in
Yes, he
not so
does.
much sanctioned fights, but he's beating up sailors as a high schooler. So I don't know.
He beat up my friend Connor Little.
He did, beat up and you still like him. He beat up
Used to not like
He's
him.
not beating up any of my friends.
Somebody brought up him throwing someone through a window in Iowa, and he's like, "Look, man, these Fort Dodge farm kids. These are not normal farm kids. You got to protect yourself." So yeah, no, that's a good one.
Okay, see, I'm going Downey.
I agree. I think you made a great point.
Thanks, I appreciate you trusting me with a KBDR. I know you're the best at assigning those.
So to give him a number, it's probably like an 8.5.
Yeah, because the potential's high, but then there's also we always look for a body count.
Yeah, he's got one.
He's got one, and he's retired a couple people too.
Yes, yeah, he used to.
He's talking about all the people he retired.
Yeah,
Clinton
he used
Wright
to keep
and
a
Kyle
hit
Crutchmer.
list. Yeah.
I don't know who else he's retired.
Gabe
But-
Dean.
Oh yeah, Gabe Dean.
Yeah, he used to count Gabe Dean on it.
He's kind of got a body count. All right. Okay. Speaking of Pat Downey, if Downey doesn't qualify 86 at Worlds, which means Pat Downey will be homeless. If we don't qualify the way at Worlds, Downey says he will be. He said world champ or homeless. The stakes never been higher. Who will and when? Who will qualify 86 and when? So here's my thought. No Downey. If Downey doesn't do it, we're going to send a team to Pan Am's. Jaden Cox, who I think will come down, should say, okay, I want to see how I'm feeling, because he wouldn't have to make his final decision as a Pan Am's, but you would think. But like, hey, I'm going to go to Pan Am's, I'm going to qualify the weight, see how I feel, and do it. Right? Get my weight down. It'd be a great little early pre-trials event. And I also get to qualify my weight pre-trials and see how I feel down at 86. Why is that not the best idea ever?
It's just, I think Pan Am's are like 2 weeks before trials.
Oh my gosh. Ain't no one going to want to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to end up sending Kyle Rochelle.
I mean, that's why I'm wondering if they're going to rewrite the procedures to if you qualify the weight, you get some sort of. I mean, I guess he already if he medals at 92, he'll get a bye to the semis. I don't know. I just that part worries me. That any weights we don't qualify, how close Pan Am's before, because once you make the team, you just know, okay, this is what I got to do. So even if it's the next day, you just got to do it. But before, you're running the risk of, but he would qualify the weight, so I don't know.
He would qualify it. But also, here's my thing with 86. It's the last chance qualifier, we'll qualify that. We'll make the finals of the last chance.
Pan Am's will be easier than the last chance qualifier.
For sure, but Jaden did it in 16.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say we do it again. And maybe Jaden says, I did that last time, I'll do that again. Uh-oh, Kyle's smiling. Something funny?
No.
All right.
I don't know. I would assume. Well, I don't know. I mean, how healthy do we think David is?
He's not going to be.
That's what I'm saying. So we
why?
are very confident that he will not be healthy because
even health, it's irrelevant.
Sure.
He's gonna. Yeah, it just does not make any sense for David to wrestle at Pan Am's. I don't think. I mean, especially after what happened, right? He's not gonna wrestle in his first tournament back is not gonna be. I mean, maybe the trials for all we know, but I just don't see it being that. Or maybe they say, hey, this is the perfect acclimation thing, and I'll just win that. That could be.
That's a good question.
I'm kind of talking myself out of it because his first tournament back, you would not think you want to go through Jaden and Bo potentially and all these good 86s. That'd be your first time back. Maybe it would be the perfect acclimation thing, right?
Well, that's a good question. What will his first tournament back be?
All right, I'm in. David to Pan Am's. Why not? Who says no? Probably David. But David, think about it, dude. It might make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
or I guess you could just wrestle dudes in your wrestling room because you have Jake Varner, David Taylor, Cale Sanderson, Mark Hall, and Bo Nickel there.
Yes,
you could do that.
The date on UW is March 13th to 15th, but it has not. It just says candidate, so it hasn't been set. And
where is
the trials are the 4th to 5th, supposedly in Ottawa, Canada. So that's
Ottawa, Canada.
So you'd have 3 full.
That could be my next ask if you were in Ottawa, Canada, scouting out Pan Am.
I've never been to Canada.
Territory. Really?
No.
It's like America, just
Canadian,
just colder and full of Canadians.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what David's first tournament back would be. Right now, I actually think he would be the most likely to.
Dang, I went from 0% chance to he should definitely go.
Also of note, both Jaden and David and Downey are qualified for Olympic trials. So none of them would have to go to Bill Farrell or one of those.
Sorry, I snowplowed for a second there, but I pulled over. Okay, here's what we should do in the United States. If you qualify the weight for the Olympic trials or for the Olympics, you should get $10,000, $15,000. There should just be a cash prize for qualifying the weight.
So, okay. So right now,
$10,000. You qualify the freaking weight.
Yeah.
If you're top 5 at Worlds in 19, or
hey, thanks.
Thanks for getting us there. Whether you make the team or not.
So
here's 10 G's.
Okay, so right now, medalists get money from Living the Dream Fund, right? So you're saying on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you win 50 if you win Worlds. So let's say you win Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You get 50 and then another 10 for
10
qualifying. Now, do you get that same? Is it any of the 3 events you qualify, you get the same 10?
10. You qualified us for the Olympic Games. That's
you
hard
just get
to
it
do.
one time. 10.
Yeah, one time. You get $10,000 if you qualify the weight.
I don't hate it. I don't know where the money's come from. I don't hate it.
You know, we want to get all of our. It's a big deal.
It's only $180,000.
Well, if we get everyone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what it would be. Same
We
incentive
won't
across the
qualify all the
board.
Greco weights.
Yeah, Greco. It's just.
We're just not going to.
It's just not going to. It's almost scientifically proven it.
Okay, so we only need $150,000.
And even then, but we're just dipping into not quite that. I think all the girls, all the ladies should qualify.
We qualified what? All but one last time around?
Was it
For
Tamira's weight?
Olympics?
Yeah. Did we have all of them at the Olympics?
No.
Yeah, I thought we didn't have
Tamira
one.
didn't, and
We had Yeah, correct.
Kelsey Campbell.
69 kilos, and then for the women, and then 66 and 96 for the guys.
Okay.
We had two Greco weights not qualified, one women weight not qualified.
It's easy for me to say I realize cash prize for that, but I think of all the things we give money for, I think, man, that's a thing to incentivize, and especially when you consider the stakes and the potential risks of having to go and compete before or after trials, especially before. I think there's a little incentive. Maybe it's just a 5-piece. I don't know. 10 was the first.
No, that's
number
not a
that
bad
came to
idea
mind.
though.
Yeah. A little something for your time. All right. Anything else before we depart as friends?
We didn't talk about. I don't think you guys talked about it because I thought it happened after. But Bo Nichols wrestling off for U23 spot, and then
Colton Schultz.
Yeah, Colton Schultz and Brady Kuntz on the Greco side. So
Who do you think's gonna win? Schultz or Kuntz?
well, it's both Kuntzes. So I'm gonna say Schultz.
Got it. That would be tough. And they're all just going to be in the corner of the new Cavelli Wrestling Center.
Yes.
Wait, the Kuntz are wrestling each other?
No.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying.
That
That would have been funny if they
That
were.
would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
And probably not very exciting because they know all each other's moves and have like the same body.
Hey, so do we think that those will all be in conjunction with the Dake Dieringer mystery wrestle off?
I do believe that. I believe
Because
that.
that's what it should be.
Do we know any more about said mystery wrestle off?
I do. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
So
We
don't know.
I don't want to get yelled at.
No, we don't know.
I will talk to you after the show then.
I'll talk to you after the show. Yep. And if you're here, if you're around within like 3 minutes when we're off the show, I'll tell you too. But if you're not there, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I told everyone that was in the area and you just weren't there. Mm-hmm. But I would assume you're going to find out very soon.
Well, that's yeah.
So August though.
Well, that's the thing, right? We were waiting for, like, we heard what it could be, like the options, and then we were just, it had to be finalized.
Yep. Okay. Feel free, Kyle, our dear friend Kyle, please play us out. We are ready to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to 387, and we're already beginning planning for episode 400.
That's right.
And all the stuff we're definitely not going to do.
You guys are going to love it.
Please send all your ideas for what we should do for episode 400 to make it super special, to show our appreciation to you guys for listening, and we will do absolutely none of it. I guarantee it. 100 we did nothing. 200 we did nothing. 300 we did nothing. I promise you. If there's one thing we can guarantee is that we will go low impact, low effort on our 400th episode.
What about, okay, follow me. Follow
Okay,
me.
I'm with you.
So you want $10,000 to whomever qualifies to wait for the Olympics.
Yes.
Okay. What if the 400th episode, we only allowed 400 people to listen to it? However, you had to pay money that would go into the fund of Olympic qualifying.
I don't know how to do this, but I kind of love it. But it's not possible. But if we can do it, we'll do it. Not a bad idea.
So a secret show.
Secret show.
Live. Only 400 people can listen to it live.
And Nomad and Willie will have some sort of physical competition.
Yeah.
They have to. But only 400 people are going to see it. Okay. I like this. If we're going to do something zany for 400, it's going to be something like that.
Right.
There is no middle ground. Thank you guys. We'll be back Thursday. Willie will be back. Will you be here?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Can you commit to Thursday?
I'll be here.
Full team, one dream, one Taco Supreme. Shout out Home Mat Advantage. Thanks for the shirt, Sam and Jude.
Oh, yeah, I was on it the other day. You should listen to it.
I did listen to it, in fact. It was good. The most pure podcast in America.
It really is.
It's just the purest one. It's just kids that love wrestling, and they know more than most of y'all, including probably us. Thanks, guys. See you next time.